The night has fallen. Welcome to the world of bedtime stories, specially created for children.
Today, we are going to tell a story called I Am the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Once upon a time, long ago, when clouds used to stick to mountain tops like cotton candy, there lived a family of pterosaurs on a high, rocky cliff. Daddy Pete Arrow had shiny wings that sparkled like black glass, and Mommy Pete Arrow had soft, silvery feathers that glowed like moonlight. They built their nest at the very top of the cliff using sticks and fuzzy moss. Inside the nest was a bright blue egg with speckles that looked like stars in the sky. One night, when the moon was big and round, the egg began to wiggle and shake. Rattle, 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 rattle. Moonlight sprinkled over it like magic dust. Crack! A tiny, wet head popped out, covered in yellow fluff and bits of shell. Look, his wings look like lightning bolts. Mommy Pete Arrow clapped her wings with joy. She accidentally knocked a leaf off the nest, and it fluttered down into the forest below. Daddy Pete Arrow gently wrapped his wing around the baby and nuzzled his little claws. "You're going to grow up to be the strongest Pete Arrow," he said proudly. Then he brought a plump little fish and dropped it right into the baby's mouth with a happy chomp. "Be gentle," Mommy Pete Arrow said, wrapping her wing around the baby again. "Our little one is going to be the kindest dinosaur too." She placed a white flower behind his fluffy ear. A drop of dew fell from the petal onto a piece of broken eggshell, making a soft tinkling sound like a tiny bell. As days went by, the baby's wings grew bigger and bigger. Each morning, Daddy Pete Arrow would stand with him at the edge of the cliff. "Watch me," Daddy said. "Open your wings wide, like big leaves," and then with a powerful flap, he jumped into the sky. His wings whooshed through the air. "Dive like this and use your tail to steer." The baby tried to copy him and opened his wings. But as soon as he took one step forward, he got scared and pulled back. "It's too high, it'll crash." Mommy Pete Arrow gently nibbled his ear. "Remember how you were scared to try fruit for the first time? You closed your eyes, but then you loved it so much you ate it all and M minus some M." She pointed her wing toward the forest below. "There are glowing fireflies and trees full of rainbow fruit down there. Only brave PT Eros get to see them." The baby looked at his own claws and remembered what Daddy said. APT Eros claws must be strong enough to grab the wind. He took a deep breath, spread his wings like Daddy did, and suddenly, a gust of wind blew hard from behind. Whoosh! He stumbled forward, untumbled out of the nest. "Ah-ha-h!" he screamed, falling fast. Wind roared past his ears. Just then, he instinctively flapped his wings flap minus flap, and guess what? He started flying. He spun around happily and saw the forest below like a green carpet. The river sparkled like silver threads. "I can fly," he shouted joyfully. His voice boomed like thunder undecoed off the cliffs, sending a flock of purple birds flying into the sky with startled chirps. Once upon a stormy night, with rain pouring from the sky like a waterfall, Daddy and Mommy Pete Arrow quietly landed near their nest. Who was curled up and dreaming. Daddy gently wiped a tear from Mommy's eye with his wing. "It's time he learns to live on his own," he whispered. But he just got a fish bone stuck in his wing yesterday. Mommy's voice cracked with sadness. The next morning, when the baby Pete Arrow opened his eyes, the nest was quiet and empty. All that was left was one of Daddy's shiny black feathers and a little flower crown Mommy had made. He called out for his parents, his voice blowing away with the wind. Only a soft echo came back from far below the cliff. Buzz, zee. Just then, clunk minus clunk. Something was climbing up the rocks from below. It was a big, scary T-Rex. His sharp teeth sparkled in the gray light, and his claws made crunch minus crunch sounds as they stepped on broken stones. The baby Pete Arrow trembled. He remembered what Daddy said. Rex loves to snack on little P.T. Eros. But right at that moment, B-O-O-N, a volcano in the distance erupted. Hot lava rained down with a sizzle minus pop. The ground shook, and the T-Rex slipped thud minus thud. He tumbled all the way down the cliff and landed with a C-R-A-S-H. Fruits fell from the trees with a plop minus plop. The baby Pete Arrow peeked over the edge. The T-Rex was lying still. His tail scales cracked and blood dripped softly into the dirt. Drip minus drip. What should I do? The baby thought. Daddy said they're dangerous, but then he remembered what Mommy always said: even the scariest animals need help when they're hurt. He took a deep breath, grabbed the biggest leaf he could find, and flew down with a flap minus flap. The rain fell harder. Pitter minus patter. The baby spread the leaf over the T-Rex's wound, just like Mommy used to cover him when it rained. Then he picked up some red berries and dropped them one by one into the T-Rex's mouth. Careful now, don't bite my claw. The T-Rex slowly opened his eyes. His voice was rough like a broken drum. You're really a T-Rex? Your wings, why are they so soft? B minus, because I'm the gentle kind, the baby Pete Arrow stammered, hiding his wings behind his back. He accidentally knocked off his flower crown noops. It floated down with a soft whoosh. The T-Rex watched it fall and gave a short NP each. Fancy flowers, not very T-Rex minus like. But he swallowed the berries with a loud gulp and let out a tired gray R. In the days that followed, the little Pete Arrow was busy taking care of the T-Rex. He built a shelter with branches to shield him from the sun, chased away pesky mosquitoes, and saved the sweetest red berries for his friend. One day, he spotted something shiny by the riverbank. Gathering his courage, he flew down to the water's edge. Splash! Thinking about how the T-Rex would munch on it with a happy chomp minus chomp gave him the strength to fly back. One night, as the little Pete Arrow returned with a fish in his beak, he saw the T-Rex standing under the moonlight, his tail gently swaying. Your injuries are better. The little Pete Arrow gasped, dropping the fish into the grass with a plop. The T-Rex took a few steps forward, his claws crunching on the stones. The little Pete Arrow, remembering Daddy's warnings, instinctively spread his wings. The wind caught him, lifting him higher and higher. Wait! The T-Rex called out anxiously. But the little Pete Arrow was already far away, hearing only faint echoes behind him. He flew over mountains, watching the glowing volcano like a distant star before daring to land and catch his breath. Back at the foot of the mountain, the T. Rex stood staring in the direction where the little Pete arrow had flown off, still holding half a fish. He gently placed it on the grass. It was the little P.T. Os favor, its silver fish. I knew all along the T. Rex murmured softly to the moon, his voice softer than ash. Those red berries you fed me were sweeter than any meat I've ever tasted. He looked up at the shooting stars in the sky, remembering the tick-like feeling of the little Pete Eros wing brushing against his face when he covered him with leaves. Far away, the little Pete arrow landed on another cliff and noticed a scale from the T. Rex stuck to his wing. He pressed the scale close to his chest, hearing whispers carried by the wind, like leaves sharing secrets. Maybe one day, when another shooting star streaks across the sky, he would bravely fly back, showing off his new flying tricks and whispering the unspoken thank you hidden beneath his wings. Minus, dear little ones, this story teaches us that kindness and bravery can overcome fear and create friendships between very different creatures. Just like how the little Pete arrow chose to help the T. Rex, despite being scared, he ended up making a special friend. When we meet someone who seems different, let's try to be kind and get to know them, just like the little Pete arrow did. You might discover a warm heart hiding beneath a tough exterior. Next time you see a child playing alone, be brave and say, "Let's play together." You never know what amazing friendship might begin.